Hey guys, Bionic Who here, and welcome back to yet another episode of Genshin Impact. Now today I wanted to use this last episode to go over something I think is going to be quite fun. But I wanted to go ahead and actually head over to the Dawn Winery. That way we can take a seat in a different spot. And I probably will not be helping Timmy with that daily task. So, to start out with, I am going to teleport over to the Dawn Winery, which I think is... Is it over here? Oh, it's over here. Okay. I'll teleport over to this. And then we will head over to the Dawn Winery. Maybe not. Let's find out. Oh, and we might just drop out of the sky. And there it is. Okay. Wasn't terrible, but I probably shouldn't have ran as much so I could get over here. Alright. Let's go ahead and let's find a seat in here. I think... Oh, perfect. Let's have a seat right here and we shall do some final reading. Now for this last one, I actually wanted to go into our archive and look at our living beings category, because we've encountered quite a few things since the last time we read this. Alright. This is the large pyro slime, a monster created by the sedimentation of pyro dispersed through nature. Though its intelligence has not increased with its size, it is very hot. During dry seasons, it can cause wildfires. It will spit forth blazing fireballs when angered and will turn dark when it is feeling it down. It is a very expressive slime indeed. Next, we have the large hydro slimes. Once again, it is a monster created from the sedimentation of its given element, which is hydro. A larger and more powerful hydro slime can create bubbles to entrap its enemies. It is said that they can grow to truly staggering sizes if given an energy-rich environment. Eyewitnesses have supposedly seen hydro slimes as large as a small mound in Wolvendom, which is an area we haven't gone to yet, but I'm excited to go to. Next, we have our electro slimes. Start off with our small ones. They're created by electro being dispersed. According to analyses, the jumping of electro slimes reflects the electrical potential difference in the ground. In areas brimming with electricity, their unusual movements can be observed and used to avoid danger. As for their larger counterparts, due to the abundant electro within its form, it will deliver an electric shock to its surroundings from time to time. At the present, some have attempted to harness this energy to aid in the production activities. Perhaps some new science will be born from this? We also have the mutant electric slime. These electro slimes can undergo mutations to become bright yellow. Due to the abundant electro in its form, it will deliver an electric shock to its surroundings from time to time, and may even cause nearby electro slimes to release electric arcs. This arc lightning will not bounce between purple electro slimes, which shows the electro slimes have two different polarities. One wonders if some great new science will emerge from the study of this phenomenon. Oh, I can turn them around. I will probably do that next time. Next, we have our dendro slimes. For the smaller ones, it has taken on the weaknesses of the dendro element and will burn intensely the moment that it meets a bright flame. I like that we can see multiple of them, but the bigger one, there are some who see it as similar to the whomper flowers, which we'll get to in a bit, hiding its true form to trick and hunt its prey, and some regard it as a slime that has been parasitized. Some regard it as a slime that has been parasitized by some special plant. For this point of view, might some cultures also see these slimes to having some medicinal value? Perhaps. It looks really cool. Anyways. Next we have our cryo slimes, and I think we saw a larger one a bit ago, but it might not have taken it into account because we didn't defeat it. Competitors once spread malicious rumors that the Dawn Winery used cryo slimes to control the temperature of their wine cellar and preserve the quality of their wine. Well, seems kind of fitting we're here. Maybe we can go investigate. Oh, that just turns that off. Got it. I feel like the slimes would be really cute if they didn't attack us all the time. But lastly, we have the geo slimes. These smaller ones, generally speaking, are from the crust of the earth, which is filled with the geo energy. Geo slimes that are formed this way have a similarly down to earth sort of feeling. That's kind of punny. Their larger counterparts are kind of interesting too. It is said that they can harden the energy within their bodies in a carapace of stone that protects them and prevents damage. The legend of a golden Geo Slime King once circulated amongst the treasure hoarders. They believe that since gemstones and ores from geoenergy have geoenergy in them, geoslimes, which also contain geoenergy, may also be a type of gemstone ore. Interesting. I feel like all of these are representations of almost like raw nature, and that's why they lash out. Like it's not necessarily that they're like an enemy per se, but in nature things will attack you as you approach them. So I wonder if it's just kind of one of those things. Next we have the Eye of the Storm. Ooh, that is a cool image, especially because we don't really get to see it in its full form while we're fighting it. The corporal form of an extremely high quality animo energies. The formation of the Eye of the Storm indicates that the elemental ley lines of a region are blocked, which has led to this situation. Its reckless, heedless wielding of storms that all but sweeps people off their feet may be due to its nature as a symbol of the world stricken by malice. Interesting. It almost kind of looks like this used to be like the skull of something. Because I don't really know if that's stone or other parts that are around it, but either way, it looks really cool. Next, we have our Hiltron. The primitive wandering inhabitants of Teyvat's wildernesses. They look very similar to humanity, but seem to have lost both their intellect and spirituality. Their presence on the continent has been recorded for over 1,000 years, and yet they have neither history nor civilizations. Since the pitch black calamity from 500 years ago, I assume from the calamity talked about later on in the games, which we'll get to that. Very interesting. Kind of in connection to Valen and the other dragon. Uh, anyways, they have begun to spread in large numbers across the land. They are not very strong and they lack organization, but they are nonetheless bring sizable trouble to humans every once in a while. Next, we have the Hilitrol Fighter, the primitive wandering inhabitants of Teyvat's wilderness. Seems like they all have that description. Ill-tempered warriors for the tribes. They are simple-minded believers in the power of brute force. If their muscles grow strong enough and their strength great enough, then one day they too shall raise up a great shield and become a Midtroll. Or will they? Next, we have the Hilitroll Berserker. These Hilitrolls wield flaming clubs and charge with reckless abandon to chase intruding adventurers off. Most wildfires in the grasslands and forests are not actually caused by a certain special night, but due to the actions of Hilitrolls. We'll have to talk about that very special night later on, but she is very funny and likes to cause explosions. Alright. Next we have the Wooden Shield Hilitrol Guard. Hilitrol warriors who have wooden shields. These shields are not as sturdy defense tools, but also treasured items within the tribe. According to many reports, Hilitrolls are often charged at travelers, making camp to cook, and will snatch their pot lids after chasing them away. What is this? Oh, it just gives a little tutorial entry about it. That would be really funny if this was just a pot lid. Next, we have the Hilitroll Shooter. Hilitroll shooters who wield simple crossbows. Hilitrolls do not, in truth, possess the craftsmanship needed to build crossbows. As such, it is commonly believed that there is an organization that controls the Hilitrolls from behind the scenes and furnishes them with equipment and material supplies. The abyssal mages that often accompany these Hilitrolls are especially suspicious. Yeah, well, they don't really know how to do the crossbow anyways, so. Pyro Hilitroll Shooter. These archers wield simple crossbows, and their arrowheads are coated with a thin layer of flammable material that can set their targets on fire. Ellie Musk of the previous generation believed that this is an innovation by brighter Hilitrolls who wish to cook their game after hunting it. Ellie Musk is actually like a character within the library that we just came out of, like the last episode, so kind of funny. Next, we have an Electro one. These archers have simple crossbows, and their arrows are crafted with electro crystals that deliver an electric shock on impact. They say that Hilitroll shooters are often exceptionally skilled, can fire 10 crossbow shots at once. A most impressive feat indeed. I'd be intrigued to see, because like you see the round thing on the front of the face. I wonder if like it covers their face, and if we like look behind it, it would have more like humanoid features too. But lastly, we have the cryohelitrol shooter. They also wield a simple crossbow, and unmelted ice shrouds their arrowed heads. It is said that wounds caused by these arrowheads heal most slowly, as the cold will slow the circulation of blood. Helitrol Grenadier. Kind of a funny image. These sneaky fellows are skilled in the use of pyroslimes, using them as weapons to attack intruders. Skilled grenadiers may be able to destroy 4 wooden dummies in a single throw. It looks like that slime is going to attack him though, so better run away. Then we have these 2 Mitatrolls. One, the Shield Wall Mitatroll. A muscular helitroll who has been forged in countless fights. They know how to use dendro shields to create tough shields they wield in combat. With their powerful muscles, glossy fur, and sturdy, reliable silhouettes, they have the helitrolls withstand the pitiless assaults of adventurers, and they would rather have a rather exalted rank among most tribes. I always assumed that the things on their faces were like actual like parts of themselves, but I think it might just be a mask, like I was thinking. Next, we have the Blazing Axe Metatroll. These muscular helitrolls wield a two-handled large axe. Attacked with large strikes and use pyroslimes to infuse their axes with pyro, they are very lethal. Unusually, repeated quenching of a weapon the way a blazing axe miniature does will decrease the hardness of the metal and cause the axe head edge to chip away more easily. But such is the strength of minitrolls that even should the edge disappear altogether, they can still use their axes as hammers. Very true. Although it looks pretty cool, this weapon. Next, we have the Semitrolls. I think they're for element users. A wizened, humbled helitroll, and one that chants with the power of hydro. Helitrolls especially gifted in commanding the elements who often reach the zenith of their skill in their twilight years. What sort of life would lead such simple creatures to being able to summon water and rains? I think this is the eye right here, the like glowing thing in black. But again, it's one of the things that I don't know. I do like the staff though. Oh, and they're all different. That's so cool. Okay. I wonder if they represent each of their elemental powers in some way. This one spreads the message of Animo. Hilitrolls especially gifted in commanding the elements who often reach their zenith. Their twilight years, they are able to command the flowing wind stems from darkness and forgotten memories. That's kind of sad, honestly. Although I wonder if that could kind of give us some connection to like Dvalin and how he feels. And lastly, we have the Dendro Salamanchel. This awakens the might of Dendro. They're especially gifted in the elements. A grudge stirs beneath that mask, and poison ivy sprouts as hateful whispers issue forth from it. Okay, I think this is building more of a story. The event that I talked about earlier with the Hilitroids being more human, I wonder if a lot of those, because there's a theory out there, and I would love to know where this comes from, where like a lot of the Hilitrolls are actually once human. Where this hatred could actually come from for humanity. Next, we have the Abyss, where we've seen only two. We have the Pyro Abyssal Mage and the Cryo Abyssal Mage. The Abyss creatures who command the power of Abyss creatures who command the power of Pyro in battle. For unknown reasons, Abyss mages are able to communicate with the Hilitrolls, thus enabling them to manipulate their minds easily. They say that the Abyss mages utter a long-forgotten language, which they draw magical power. He looks pretty proud of himself. Alright, we also have the Cryo one. Though they dabble with great power and can even create icicles by condensing and freezing water vapor in the atmosphere, their bodies are very vulnerable in and of themselves. Once their protective ward is broken, they are at your mercy. Next, we have the Fatui, which we know are from the... Oh my gosh, what is the name of the nation? It's the last nation. Snezhnaya, that's what it's called. They were the ones who have the connection to Mondstadt right now. Fatui Electro Season Mage. A Fatui mage who can command Electro Seasons in battle. Their origins and what they look like under the mask are both mysteries. Similarly, in the way the Electrocians go crazy for Mistgrass, Cian mages take great pleasure in toying with their prey. It kind of looks like maybe she's had some like augmentation or something like that done to her. Because there's kind of like a pattern in her back that you can see right there. Like almost kind of looks almost like technological. But maybe that's just me. The other one we have is the Fatui Pyro Agent. A Fatui secret agent. The duty of a Fatui agent is to settle debts, but not only those of monetary or goods in kind nature. They also ensure duties are paid when it comes to the principle of an eye for an eye. If there is one thing the Fatui are not known for, it is leniency, and whoever dares to oppose them will invoke the full force of their wrath. Right, I want to move him around because his blade looks so cool. Oh, I think it looks like he's wearing like a pyro vision on him. I wonder if we could see that on the other one too. But that's kind of cool to see that. Interesting. I'm gonna go back to her and just see if we can actually see any sort of electro vision on her. Not that I can tell, but it might be in kind of that lantern looking thing. Next, we have the automatons. We've only really seen one of these so far, but this is the Ruin Guard. An ancient humanoid war machine. A legend has it that these machines were combat automatons created for long-destroyed nation. They now wander the ruins in ancient detritus, attacking offending travelers. Research indicates that the ruin guards and the ruins they operate in do not originate from the same source, suggesting there may have been a difference of as much as several thousand years between them on the timeline. So why do the ruin guards continue staying among these ruins, using their explosive firepower to protect the crumbling walls and broken tiles? My point of view for this would be just protecting long lost civilizations, or even guarding things that should maybe be better left untouched. But I don't know. The other thing is there are ancient ruins on the guards themselves, and I would love to know if there's some sort of like writing out there that we know of. If y'all do know of something like that, that like is on the wiki or something else like that, feel free to let me know in the comments below, and maybe I'll talk about it in another video. All right. I think I just have a few more left. But I might actually end it off here and just give y'all a taste of this with some of the more cool monsters. Sorry, treasure hunter guys, but I wanted to go over y'all in a different episode. I will go over this though, the whopper flower, because that was mentioned earlier with the dendro slime. And then I think this will be our last creature of our reading. A mimicry plant monster that attacks without warning and uses pyro to hunt its prey. The world of Teyvat plays host to plants infused with elements. Having gained a measure of intelligence, their uh, nutritional uses have greatly increased. Alright, I'm gonna have to close out real quick because I'm with family, and it seems like they're ready to come back, but thank y'all so much for watching. I hope that y'all did enjoy. Feel free to like the video and of course subscribe, and I will see y'all on the next episode. Take care and goodbye.